Every episode celebrates original content written by real people who experience real emotions. I'm Rayanne Thorn Krueger. Welcome to Real Words. I'm continuing the ECT series celebrating Electric Company Theater and their latest production, which opens on February 10th and runs through March 5th. It is a unique, incredible production called White Rabbit, Red Rabbit. Never heard of it? Well, neither have I, and I have never seen it. Neither has our actress that's joining us today, Andrea Dodson. Let me tell you a little bit about it. You don't get to see the script till the evening of your performance and not until it's put in your hand as you walk out on stage. There's no rehearsals, no director, no set. A different actor reads the script and participates with the audience, I believe. We don't know. None of us know. And they will have it for the first time with each performance. Forbidden to Leave His Country, playwright Nassim Soleimanpour distilled the experience of an entire generation in a wild, utterly original play. White Rabbit, Red Rabbit is as much about contemporary Iran as it is about power dynamics in the rest of the world. I'm so happy to welcome Andrea Dodson to talk about this production at Electric Company Theater, which is the resident theater company at the Muckenthaler Cultural Center in Fullerton, California. Andrea, thanks for joining me this evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here, and I can't wait to hear about your thoughts about this production. But before we get going, please tell me about your experience as an actor. When did you start acting?
I hate to be that cliche person, but I have been doing it since before I can remember. My family is not a musical family. We're not a theater family. I was that kid where my mom's like, what is going on with you? And I was the first, preschool, I guess I was like the person in the front row singing my heart out, dancing my heart
Wow.
out. I had to beg at 3 to get put in dance lessons, which my mom did. And then I think by 9, I begged my grandmother for a piano, and I begged for piano and voice lessons. And it was just something I got into the La Habra Depot Theater like when I was 5, and I've just pushed my mother to let me get to do this my whole life. It's in my blood. I honestly, I hate to say it, but I was born to just love theater, and I watched all the old musicals on repeat on VHS when I was a kid, and just the same stuff over and over and over again. I've always loved it. No one taught me how to love it. I've loved theater and musical theater forever.
Well, that's wonderful. Apparently, we are cut from the same cloth because I was the same way. Started when I was 3, loved theater my whole life. Got away from it for a little while, but I have used it in every job I've ever had. This experience, this understanding about performance and how powerful and strong it can make you as an individual in business or whatever your career is. So I'm so happy to talk to you about this. Before we dive into White Rabbit, Red Rabbit, and I always say it very slowly because I don't want it to come off as having a wubba because if you say it too fast, it sounds like you have that wubba. But tell me about your connection with Electric Company Theater and Brian and Kelly Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. I have known Brian since we were kids in theater, like really young. I think I met
Wow.
him when I was maybe 13. We did theater together as very young adults, and we grew up together. Our paths have crossed paths and back and forth throughout all time. I was so happy to meet Callie, obviously later on when they, started dating, and she is amazing and beautiful. And I absolutely adore both of them. I've known them for so long, but they started this theater company a few years ago, and they did Fiddler last year. And that really piqued my interest because Fiddler is one of my all-time favorite shows of literal all time.
Mine too.
And top 5. I grew up again on repeat all the time watching
Right.
that movie when I was a kid. Brian and I did it in high school together. He was Tevye and I was Hoddle. So I really jumped at the chance to get to work with both of them, especially on a project that meant so much to me and connects me to Brian specifically so much, because we had such a beautiful connection when we did it together in high school. And I was so lucky they cast me as Zeidel, and I got to have a totally different experience with Brian as a different daughter this time. And it was just the most beautiful show. What they put forward, what they do for the community, for the Muckenthaler, for theater is just phenomenal. I commend both of them all the time for how great they are and how much love and care that they put into their theater company. And I'm just so honored that they asked me to do this project. And it's definitely going to be a challenge, but I'm very excited to work with them again. It's going to be really great.
Definitely going to be a challenge. Andrea, you are on stage on Monday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. So individuals that are watching this, if they want to buy tickets, all they need to do is go to, and I'm going to pop up a banner up so on video everybody can see this, but you can go to electriccompanytheater.org, purchase tickets there. In particular, we're celebrating Andrea Dodson, the actress that's performing on March 3rd. So get your tickets there. I'll leave this up for a bit. So I want to ask you now, why do this? This is a crazy project. Why do it?
This is a crazy project. I am, like so many actors, I am an insane control freak and perfectionist. And I am one of those people who over prepares and over studies my part. And I really, really dive into my roles when I learn them. And I really learn like what makes this person, what makes this girl tick.
Backstory.
I do. I put
introspection.
so much thought. Exactly. And this is so different from anything because I not only don't know what characters are in the show, I don't even know if this is a comedy or a drama or an interactive play. It could be a political play. It's crazy that I don't know. Right. And I feel like I'm so excited because it's a challenge to grab something and interpret it live with an audience and have this beautiful experience with the audience where they have no idea what's about to happen. I have no idea what's about to happen. And we get to do that together. I think that that's the most amazing concept. And when Brian and Callie were telling me about it, I just, even though I'm a perfectionist and a control freak, I just thought, wow, this is so cool. And what chance does an actor get to have this kind of an experience to challenge themselves and grow and develop, but to share that intimacy and that vulnerability with someone else, right, and not be prepared. So it's definitely very exciting.
Brian told me something. Brian, who is the co-artistic director, co-founder of Electric Company Theater and the director for this production, told me that many actors and actresses, just say actors do really well on a cold read. Mm-hmm. And then they get in, the table read and they start and sometimes the director will pull back and go, what happened to the actor that showed up at the cold read? They're not the same actor. This is your chance to be that actor. It's basically a cold read. So I think it's going to be a really fantastic production. And I'm excited that you've said yes to this challenge. Definitely a challenge. So your performance, again, we have 12 different nights of performance and only one performance for Andrea, and that is on March 3rd at 7 p.m. You can find your tickets at electriccompanytheater.org. I want to remind everybody again. Andrea, thanks so much for joining me today. Yeah. Give us a little brief introduction of yourself during the day. I mean, it would be fantastic if those of us that were theater lovers actually got to make a living doing theater. That is not always the case, especially if we spend a lot of time doing live local theater. That means it's a smaller theater. We don't always get paid to do our work. So tell us what you do during the day to make a living.
Yeah, I'm actually a special events manager at a really beautiful venue in Northern Orange County. We do, anywhere from 30 to 40 events a month. December, we did 93 corporate Christmas parties. So we have 3 different spaces and we just do birthday parties and showers and weddings and rehearsal dinners and funerals and all the things. And I am the sole special events coordinator for all of it. And I execute all of those special events for the venue. And it's amazing. It's challenging and different, but I'm super detail oriented. So it's a really good job for me and I really enjoy it.
Sounds like the perfect job for you. Okay, before my one last thing, I would love for you to tell everybody why should they come see you in this show?
Oh gosh, I just love for you to experience this with me. I think it's such an organic and vulnerable experience for both of us. And I think it would just be such an amazing thing for us to experience together. And it would be amazing to just have that with different people. So please come see this show. It's going to be new to me too, so it'll be really fun.
Great. Great. Well, again, my guest tonight is Andrea Dodson, who will be performing on March 3rd at the Muckenthaler Theater, or Muckenthaler Cultural Arts Center, part of which is the let me start over. It is the Muckenthaler Cultural Center. ECT Electric Company Theater is the resident theater company. Thanks for being part of the ECT series, Andrea.
Thank
Really
you
appreciate
so
it.
much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.